All right, Rich, 2023. What number is this for you?
11.
11.
Yep.
Um, so you got some news, you got the little one with you and stuff like that. How's that changed you? The prep time, 10 times or so you get kind of into the groove of what it takes to get onto the chute with the little one. Does it change a little bit?
A little bit. I mean, I'm pretty lucky with Emery's handled the brunt of dealing with him while we've been in here, and we've had my sister Dana to help out with him a little bit here and there too. So it hasn't been like that big of a difference. I think the hardest thing for me is like the last few days, just so much going on. I haven't been able to spend much time with him, and I just enjoy sitting with him. So
Well, that changes. Now you're a parent,
Yep.
and that's kind of the challenge. We've watched Pete leave and kids crying and stuff like that, and
Yep.
that's going to get more. As you
Oh,
go
yeah.
through this. So.
Yep,
Yeah.
totally. And I think the biggest thing that I keep thinking about is in this next 9 to 10 days, he's going to change drastically. It's weird how much they change, just in a week. So just thinking about that, it's like, man.
Well, nice.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Tell me about your team this year. You did pretty good in the Cusco. You're happy with that?
I mean, I wouldn't say I was happy, but at the same time, I mean, there's 4 other teams that were a hell of a lot faster than I was. So I mean, it is what it is. But I definitely am. I'm pretty excited about this.
They look beautiful coming across the line.
Yeah, I mean they're a really veteran crew of dogs. I mean the majority of them is 5 and 6, 1 8-year-old in there, a couple 3-year-olds, and so they're a solid group. I just see how it goes, and hopefully I myself can do the right things to put them in a position. So
What do you think this smaller crew, smaller group of mushers headed out? Um, Traditionally we've had, in the 50s and up to way more than that even. But there's been a lot that were, doing it for the experience.
Yeah.
This is a different kind of group, isn't it?
it totally is, and I mean just being in our pre-race meeting, musher meeting, and not seeing Martin, Jeff, Mitch, Dallas, Yor. I mean, just to name a few, but it was definitely a little weird, because you had a lot of guys there that ran a lot of Iditarods, and they were kind of the mainstay, So it's definitely a little different, but there's definitely still a good core of competition here, and it's gonna be a good race.
What do you hear from the trail? It's raining and blowing 40 in Bethel, but it's beautiful right now here.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like for the most part it's a pretty good trail. There's your normal spots where you got going to Nikolai. It sounds like it's gonna be a little bumpy. Iditarod, I think there's a question of how much snow is on some of the south-facing hills there, which we've dealt with that before. But everything else sounds good. So we'll just see how it goes and deal with it when it comes.
I'm just thinking as you were talking, when you first ran your first race, there was so many unknowns.
Yep.
You really didn't have a clue, right?
Yep.
And even the next one, then you're going to do a different route that you started the first one. Talk about the difference in your planning and your strategy, and it's got to be a lot more fun in some ways, doesn't it?
Well, it definitely is. I mean, your planning and strategy, changes about what you know of the trail, and also the dogs you have. I mean, my team then isn't anywhere near what it is today. I mean, 10 years of breeding where my team is, came full circle, and it's now completely my team, and it's a really good team. So, I mean, it's way different than 13, 14.
Yeah. But you're aware of what you need to do along the trail. That kind of confidence has got to be really helpful.
Yeah, it totally is. Knowing little specific spots along the trail that are good to camp, spots that aren't good to camp. I mean, there's places that are normally bad, and then I think the biggest thing is, like, you sit in these pre-race meetings, and there's some people, some inexperienced people, they ask questions about, and they seem a little worried about certain parts of the trail, and to me, it's just, especially after 2014, they talk about these so-called bad parts along the trail, and you just sit there and go, whatever, like, we'll deal with it when we get there, and we're gonna deal with it. We're not turning back. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a race, all right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, even over the course of this 10 Iditarods, I mean, we always run into something that's unexpected, and you just deal with it as it comes. So.
Well, and that's, you know, as a writer and as a spectator, a fan, that's what makes it so fun.
Yeah.
You
yep.
never, no Iditarod is ever the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I
so-
mean, yeah. Some years you have warmer temperatures. Some years you have colder temperatures. Some years you have no snow. Some years you have a lot of snow. So
Right.
it's just it varies every year, even if you're doing a southern route or a northern route. So.
Yeah. So any, you know, I haven't looked at 10-day outlook for up the coast at all.
I mean, I look, and it's looking nice, but who knows? It could be blowing 50 when we get there. So
Yeah.
we'll just see.
Why don't you talk about your sponsors and thank them, you know, for all, you've got a big group behind you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge group of sponsors. I'll just name a few. Like my main sponsors, Northern Air Cargo and Ryanair. My oldest sister's company, Lake Union Escrow. My folks in Aniak for all they do, and you know they have their restaurant, the Hound House. And there's a whole lot more there. But I think more than anything, I'd just like to thank everybody that makes all this happen. I got people out in Aniak right now, my folks, some other people that are watching, caring for the other dogs, people at Ryanair and Aniak that help, you know, get the dogs in here, you know, dealing with weather, missed flights, really good people to deal with. And then in here I got a whole crew of people, my sister, her husband, my uncle and aunt, my cousin. There's just been, you know, a lot of people that always just come out of the woodworks too and do little things. So that always makes it, you know, great and makes things go smoothly. So.
Yeah, I notice in Pete's and yours both, everybody at this point in the career kind of knows what they're doing. Everybody knows their role.
Yep, that's exactly it. And, you know, this year it's been a little different because Emery's always kind of ramrodded the show at this point and told people what to do, and she's with the little boy all the time now. So yesterday I could kind of tell. I was like, oh, and luckily a lot of Pete's crew showed up and helped us get to the start. So
Yeah. Well, have a good race, Richie.
Thanks, John.
You bet.